հայտարարություններ ունեն անելու կախված Սփյուռքի ներգրավվածության հետ Հայաստանում եւ կախված նոր պլատֆորմների, որոնք հնարավորություն պետք է ընձեռեն նաեւ բարձր տեխնոլոգիական արդյունաբերությանը Հայաստանի զարգանալու եւ առաջընթանալու։ Նախ ուզում եմ ասել, որ մենք ունեցանք 70 երկրից ավելի մասնակիցներ եւ շուրջ 20 երկրից պաշտոնական մասնակիցներ գլխավորությամբ նախարարների, փոխնախարարների, ինչպես նաեւ միջազգային ընկերությունների եւ կազմակերպությունների գլխավորությամբ։ Ցանկանում եմ ասել, որ մեր գործընկերները, որոնք այցելեցին Հայաստան եւ տեսան այն ամենը, ինչ մենք տեսնում ենք առօրյայում եւ արդեն սովորել ենք, շատ տպավորված էին եւ այս ամենը մեզ հույս է ներշնչում եւ հավատ է տալիս եւ եռանդ, որ մենք բազմապատիկ ուժերով ներդնելով Հայաստանում իրագործենք տնտեսական հեղափոխությունը եւ Հայաստանը դարձնենք բարձր տեխնոլոգիական արդյունաբերական երկիր։ Եւ իսկապես ինչպես ցանկանում ենք ունենանք տարածաշրջանային կենտրոն, որը հնարավորություն կտա ոչ միայն հայ ազգի, այլ նաեւ օտարազգի ձեռներեցներին, նորարարներին գալու Հայաստան եւ Հայաստանում գտնելու իսկապես այն տեղը, որտեղ կարող են ունենալ արագ եւ կտրուկ զարգացում։ Այսքանով ես կուզենայի ամփոփել խոսքս եւ խոսքը փոխանցել պարոն Զորյան։ Պարոն Զորյանին շնորհակալություն։
Շատ շնորհակալ եմ պարոն նախարար, շատ շնորհակալ եմ, որ հոսեք բացառիկ կոնֆերանս մնե։ Այս այդը օգտագործենք մի քանի հոգի ունենք Սփյուռքեն, ամենքը ցեզի շատ ծանոթ։ Միասին ադեմնեի որ կապարմը գցենարգենք, այդ կապարը ուզենք ցեր հետ փոխանցել։ Սերժը մի քանի բառով մեզ վիդ ներկայացնե, Սերժ եք պապակից։
Այո, մերսի, Երվան։
Hello. Բարև ձեզ. Merci Ervant. I'm going to say it in English. I'm just going to read this part because it's basically the identifier of what we're saying. A pan-Armenian digital platform that connects Armenians around the world to create mini communities of interests and symposiums based on a variety of issues. This is basically the Armenian nation online.
And we're calling
Thanks a
it.
lot, Serge. Please.
And we're calling it High Connect. Right?
High Connect. I think we should really celebrate this idea that will be described a bit later. But I think even for the name, High Connect is. I think it's a good opportunity to really put our hands together. High Connect.
This was something we're all very excited about, in part because we have seen the foundation of it in our lives. Eric, Serge, myself, we realize how many opportunities we've been fortunate enough to have and that we found within the broader Armenian community through genuine relationships, through the ability to just simply look for a way to help someone else out first, and the way that pays back dividends throughout our lives. It seemed like an obvious way for us to use software and technology that Yerevan has generously been spearheading to take a lot of the lessons we've learned from our careers. I know I've thought a lot about how Reddit can inform a platform that would be specifically for Armenians, both in the diaspora as well as here in Armenia, and I could not be more excited about this coming to fruition and being able to announce it.
I think applause. Thank you. Well, I want to say that, you know, I think we've been discussing this for well over a year now and thinking about it for much longer than that, but all of us have had experiences where we felt, wouldn't it be amazing to be able to connect with fellow Armenians around the world, or wouldn't it be amazing for people to know what the left hand and the right hand are doing across the world and obviously in the Republic of Armenia as well. And we're so grateful for also Yerevan Zorian for his experience in information technology, not only in Armenia, but in the diaspora, for being the grown-up in the room and helping us get to this point. Otherwise, we really have a lot of passion and commitment to it, but it really helps to have the experience of knowing how things work in Armenia.
Here, here.
Thank you, Eric. We really deserve it. As Armenians, we're so spread all over the world, 10 million throughout 110 countries. We need to be connected. So High Connect is that connectedness, that online platform that will allow us all to be connected with each other, to be able to know each other, and then collaborate as a base on that.
In addition to that, we are always talking about the center, and this conference was about decentralizing, and basically it was again about the center. So what we should do to become a center, because the center is the place where everyone wants to go. A technology center or a high-tech center is the place where entrepreneurs, innovators, high-tech people desire to go and open their companies, grow their companies, and go and conquer the world markets. Do we have many startups coming to Armenia through our region? I don't believe so. Not many. Many multinationals maybe are coming for the talent, not much of a startups, but we need them. So in addition to the High Connect, we basically signed an agreement with, while we were traveling to Silicon Valley, headed by the Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan, with AGBU, with the big efforts of AGBU, Silicon Valley, headed by Mr. Zorian. We signed an agreement about a project that is called Armenian Virtual Bridge. So what is that about? Armenian Virtual Bridge will allow the companies and entrepreneurs who are starting their companies here, Armenians and non-Armenians, to be connected through the High Connect network with the Silicon Valley and other parts of the world, with the Armenian celebrities, entrepreneurs, influencers. What is the and the entrepreneurs are searching for the places where they can find support for their startups. Imagine if someone from Kazakhstan or Russia or Belarus might have an opportunity to meet someone like Aleksис, our great friend, or someone like Serge in the art or in music, or someone like Eric Israelian, or someone like Zorian, Mr. Zorian. It's a great value, and this great value we should open to the community around us, to the countries around us, and that would help us to become a center. We should think big. We should propose to the countries, come to Armenia because we have these people, and we will open these opportunities for you. And guess what? If we give this opportunity in a programmed way, institutional way, I can state that will be by default available for any Armenian live in Armenia or out of Armenia. That would be an institutional platform. So let me also announce today the Armenian Virtual Bridge project connected with High Connect network, allowing Armenia to become a center. Thank you.
I can send it. Yeah. So we can. Okay. Do we take? Do you want to take any questions on this? You want to? Okay. So we have a second part also. We'll be announcing something more, which has to do with the IEEE, which is the Institute of Electrical and Electromechanical Engineers, for the first time coming to Armenia, and the president is with us here. Before moving to that, we'll stop for a second to see if you have any questions. Եթե հարցումներ ունիք այս երկու հայտարարություններու նկատմամբ, High Connect-ին եւ Armenian Virtual Bridge-ի մասին, անոնք պատասխանենք, վերջը ուրիշ հայտարարություն ունենք IEEE-ի մասին։ Խնդրեմ։
Thank you very much for your presentation. I would like to learn more. Thank you. Thanks everyone for your presentation. I would like to learn more about the functionalities of this platform that you announced about. Is there any more insights or how it's going to work? Thank you.
Check.
Mic check.
This is something that we have been planning to do, but we are just on the verge of actually getting it done. So we're kind of open to ideas as well. We've, for years, we've all been talking and thinking, how do we connect all Armenians around the world? Not just for Armenia, but for every Armenian in the diaspora as well, a connection between everyone on an equal level. And so I think after a lot of talking and thinking between all of us friends and some others, we came up with this concept. And it's a way of connecting all of us and utilizing our interests to create specific niche small groups and communities. And those communities can go off and do many, many different things. For example, if you have a certain interest, you're a journalist, and you want to meet other Armenian journalists, maybe not in Armenia, because you might know a lot of them in Armenia. That's a good way to start. For example, it would track your interest in journalism, and you could. And it's a great place to confer. And Aleksys and I have talked about this. That we all think that the internet's evolving in a way that smaller kind of focus-based communities are the future, rather than this open space of social media as we have it right now. So this is a great way of us as an Armenian nation to get into that space.
Yeah, and like most or really all successful software products, we have a big vision for what this could become, and I think you've heard that outlined here. When it comes to launching things, unlike say like a Hollywood blockbuster, we want to just get a sort of minimum viable product out there as soon as we can to start getting feedback from our users for what's working and what isn't. So that's also part of the reason why it's a little hard to go into the details quite yet, because we're still going to watch and see how the product evolves based on how people use it. But as Serge described, like we know that there is this common bond that unites us. We know that there are platforms, whether they're professional networks like LinkedIn, or they're totally not professional networks like Reddit, and everything in between. There are places where Armenians can sort of connect, but are not really doing the job well enough. And so then how do we create a space where, for even some of the most popular of us, who I'm sure like Serge could have an infinite number of people who would want to learn from him about all sorts of arts and music and production and creation and creativity, the magic is actually in the network. And for so many people who are still finding their way, the best person for them to actually be learning from actually doesn't look like Serge. They're actually someone who's maybe just a couple of years ahead of where they are today. And so helping make those connections is actually where I think this gets really interesting. And it also just reinforces the fact that the value of this community is not just in the celebrities who exist in it, it's in all of us at our various stages. And we've got some lofty ambitions, but thanks to Yerevan, one step at a time, we're going to get this
Can I just
rolled
make
out.
2 points too? I was going to say, first of all, I think all of us feel, we always talk about how we have an incredible global Armenian nation, but we have to enable one another to reach that global Armenian nation. So that was a big motivator. And I think we haven't made the point yet, but this is a non-for-profit venture. So this is really just to create something that is really for everyone. And we want to facilitate the communication. We want to facilitate the connectivity. And we're establishing a non-for-profit foundation for that purpose.
Եթե կարելի է վիրտուալ բրիջի մասին երկու բառով կարող եմ նշել, տեսեք մենք պարոն Զորյանի հետ Սիլիկոնյան հովտում արդեն գտել ենք այն տարածքը, որը պետք է լինի ապրելու եւ աշխատելու տեղը այն մարդկանց, ովքեր այդ ծրագրին դիմելով կգան Հայաստան, իրենց ընկերությունը կգրանցեն, կդիմեն, նաեւ իհարկե տեղական ընկերությունների եւ ձեռներեցների համար է, կդիմեն ծրագրին, մասնակցելու այս կամ այն ձեռներեցության դասընթացին կամ որևէ այլ դասընթացի, սա շատ երկար դասընթացների մասին չի խոսքը, 3-6 ամիսանոց հիմնականում ձեռներեցության եւ նաեւ ուժեղ մարդկանց հանդիպելու եւ նաեւ վենչուր կապիտալիստներին հանդիպելու եւ ներդրումներ հայթայթելու համար այսպիսով այստեղ ծրագրին դիմելով եւ հաղթելով նրանք նաեւ հնարավորություն կստանան ապրելու եւ աշխատելու հենց այդ ժամանակահատվածում այնտեղ որտեղ որ արդեն կվարձակալած տարածքը կունենանք այսինքն Սիլիկոնյան հովտում սկզբի համար հետագայում մենք կարող ենք նաեւ ծավալվել կախված ծրագրի հաջողությունից շնորհակալություն
Ներողություն Հայ Connect հարթակի ստեղծումը կարող ենք դիտարկել որպես ուղղակի ներդրում Հայաստանի տեխնոարդյունաբերության մեջ թե ամբողջ ծրագրային ապահովումը պետք է դրսից արվի
Նախադեсված է Հայաստանի մեջ
Այո
Պատասխան այո
Hi, I'm Courtney Linder. I work for Popular Mechanics magazine. My question's for Aleksис. So Reddit started this kind of idea of like content moderation in the earliest days, I feel. And I'm wondering, you know, how you felt at the time about content moderation, because obviously it was like the Wild West, and how that's evolved over time, because you do have human moderators in a sense because of the subreddits, right? So I guess how has it changed from then versus now?
Okay, I'm going to answer this abruptly just because I want to keep it about High Connect, but I do think that there's and I learned this lesson really when I came back to Reddit in 2014 to help lead the turnaround, is, you know, when we combine human moderation with software, and in particular automating the sort of filtering of content through AI and ML, we can see a much more effective system in place. And the techniques and the tools that just didn't even exist 10 years ago, like physically just were not possible, are now making this job a lot easier and a lot more efficient. And so it's an exciting thing as we think about in the context of High Connect. We already have a community that has a shared sort of stated identity and purpose, and so I think when it comes to doing community management there, it will be a much easier job than trying to create a platform that is global and has hundreds of millions of users. But you know, the lessons that I've learned from Reddit, I think, are going to prove helpful for this project. But I'm also grateful for the fact that Eric, Serge, Yerevan, and everyone else involved have such a diversity of backgrounds that we've seen a lot of things in our respective careers that are going to help hopefully make this a success.
Thank you.
Hello, Samuel Stolton, you're active here. I have a question for the Minister, if you don't mind. I would like to know a bit more about Armenia's approach to 5G technology, what the state of play is in the country, what your deployment plans are, and if you have any wider cybersecurity concerns around the deployment of 5G.
That's a great question, but not very much connected to the High Connect and Virtual Bridge. However, I'll answer very briefly. Currently, we are in a stage of understanding how we should free the megahertzes, the spectrum for 5G, and also apply in a juridical laws in place to open the industry for investors. Secondly, there are companies in Armenia who already designed the 5G prototyping systems and exporting from Armenia. It's not a base station, but an R&D sophisticated systems for testing 5G equipments and also designing new algorithms out of that. But my belief is that, and our vision is and strategy is that Armenia will have a strong digital infrastructure, and we will be committed to really invest in there, because the technology cannot just grow without digital infrastructure. Data centers, AI, supercomputers, and the next part of the session will be also about that. So we will keep investing into that area. Thank you.
Hi, Abhimanyu Ghoshal.
Okay, that will be the last question, yes?
Sure.
Thank you.
Abhimanyu Ghoshal here from the Next Web. With HiConnect, I'm interested to understand, even at an abstract level, how do you prevent a high signal to noise, or provide for a good signal to noise ratio where you don't have a lot of unnecessary conversations and you actually facilitate people really helping each other out? What does that look like? Does it look like a LinkedIn where lots of people are just spamming with unnecessary content?
Hope
or is there
not.
a better way to do it?
Look, without committing to specific product designs, I can say you're right. That's a top of mind thing we want to conquer. The good news is we've seen a variety of different mechanisms that are already pretty well proven to get people to do behavior you want. And so that's everything from gamification, where if you can create some kind of scarcity around the relationship so that you literally are stopped from, sending out 100 messages, to just rewarding good behavior. I mean, I'd say for the first 2 years of Reddit got everyone to post that content simply for their karma score, for points that didn't mean anything outside of Reddit, but within that community was a status symbol, and that gave them an excuse to spend lots of time when they should have been working creating content. And so I think there are enough techniques now that we've seen across different platforms that give us some good ideas. Can't commit to any in particular, but that's a top issue. We want it to be valuable for our most valuable members of the diaspora, so that they're all incentivized to keep helping one another and keep that experience good.
Okay, thank you so much. We appreciate all the questions. Well, we'll move now to the second part of our announcements. Thanks.
Thanks, everybody.
Okay, thank you.